Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the meeting number 345 of Turning Point Toastmasters Club. I'm Anshuman Mishran and I'll be the Sergeant in Arms for our club today. The mission of a Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting into greater self-confidence and personal growth. To ensure this, request you to please follow certain ground rules. First of all, please ensure that all the gadgets are on silent or switch off mode. You have 10 seconds to check. Please speak responsibly about religion, sex, or politics in your speeches. Use the feature of raising a hand, applause, and thumbs up when required. Don't use Zoom messaging in between the speeches until it's required. Until not required, please put yourself on mute during the meeting. If you're playing a role, no need to check whether you're audible or not. One of us will let you know that your sound is coming or breaking. Please make sure that you have your role name as prefix to and real name as suffix as username of the meeting. For example, I am the speaker one, so I have prefixed speaker one before my name Anshuman. You have 10 seconds to check that and implement if not done already. Now, I'd like to hand over the stage to a really hardworking, sincere, and someone who's really passionate about taking Turning Point Toastmasters to greatest heights possible. One of our star speakers today, I'd like to invite on the stage Toastmaster Utkarsh to take things forward. Over to you, Toastmaster Utkarsh.
Classic Anshuman for you, always so graceful and full of like full of flavor and full of so gratitude. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anshuman. Good evening, Toastmasters. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and lovely guests. We are back with yet another exciting meeting of Turning Point Toastmasters. We are in the first half of fabulous February, and now February might be the shortest month of the year, but certainly not the insignificant. It is a month which is filled with love because of the Valentine's Day, which is just around the corner. It is also a month of transition from the harshness of the winter to the promise of spring, and of course, the festivities. The Lunar New Year to the Basant Panchami, Feb has it all. And when it comes to the Toastmasters and our club in particular, Feb indeed comes to the party as well. It is the month where we are conducting our club level international speech contest on the 22nd of February, where members who, of course, qualify for the contest will fight it out for the berth at the area level. Isn't that exciting? Of course. Yes, guys, show some excitement. All right. Well, yes, Rishi. All right. Well, more about the contest and today's theme in a bit. But first and foremost, let me acknowledge the guests who are joining us today. We are joined by the very lovely, our recurring guest, Deanna McEnroy. Can we have a huge round of applause for her? Hi, Deanna. Hope you had a wonderful week and welcome back to Turning Point Toastmasters. We're also joined by Chintan NP Sheth, who I reckon is from the Baroda Toastmasters Club and, of course, is also one of our scintillating speakers today. Hi, Chintan.
Hi, Utkarsh. Hello, everyone.
Hi, how are you, Chintan?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you.
Is it possible for you to switch on your video?
Yeah, just give me a couple of minutes.
All right. In the meantime, can I just ask you to please introduce yourself a bit for the benefit of everyone?
Yeah, sure. So, hello, everyone. As Utkarsh mentioned, I'm Chintan NP Sheth from Toastmasters Club of Baroda. I am a Toastmaster from last 2 years, and I started my journey from District 41 only. I was a Vice President Education in Eloquent Toastmasters Club. And looking forward to this amazing meeting. I know, Anant, I have attended one meeting of where Srishti had given an educational session for ISC. So looking forward for another amazing meeting. And thanks for giving me a speech slot.
Thank you, Chintan. You're most welcome, and we are absolutely thrilled by your presence. Thank you so much. We also have Toastmaster Manoj Nair with us, who's from the Beckenham Toastmasters, Beckenham Communicators, I make a pardon, from club, if I'm not wrong. Hi, Manoj, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, Utkarsh. Thank you very much for giving me the invite to evaluate one of your speakers. So yeah, I'm glad. So I've been in Toastmaster for a couple of years. So this is my couple of times I've been on and off with your club. So yeah, great to see you back all, and hope to do justice to my job today. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you so much, Manoj. You are absolutely welcome. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. Folks, it's time for me to move on with today's agenda. First of all, for the guests, and including Deanna, I welcome you, and you will definitely get a chance to participate in impromptu section. And I will definitely ask for any areas of improvement towards the end of the meeting. As I mentioned, that in the 2 weeks' time, we will have our club level international speech contest. And honoring the same, we are having a speech marathon today, where 4 scintillating speakers will enthrall us all. And at the same time, they will be evaluated by 4 very diligent and efficient speech evaluators. Folks, let's set the ball rolling and allow me to welcome our Toastmaster of the day. Our Toastmaster of the day professionally has around 20 years of experience with National Laboratory Accreditation Body and is qualified as a food technologist. She's one of the most humble and hardworking Toastmasters that I've known. Unfortunately, she's stuck in traffic right now and will be able to join a bit late. In the meantime, if I can request that we can start with our speakers.
With the general evaluator.
All right. In the meantime, I request to call upon our general evaluator, who today is Toastmaster Srishti. Hi, Toastmaster Srishti. Can we have a quick audio video check with you? Toastmaster Srishti, are you there? All right. We seem to have lost Srishti. There's some network error. Hi, Nasir. So good to see you as well. Toastmaster Srishti, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
All right. I call upon our general evaluator.
I got dropped off, sorry.
That's okay. All right. Let's welcome our general evaluator, Toastmaster Srishti, with a huge, huge round of applause.
I'm sorry, I did miss out on the last couple of minutes. Am I introducing my role now? Is this a GE introduction? Okay. So welcome everybody. Good evening. I am your general evaluator for today. So my job is to evaluate everything that happens in the whole meeting today. So everybody who speaks or everybody who takes up a role will be evaluated by
meeting
me.
chal rahi, mummy.
And I will point out things like this later on in my report when you see me at the end of the meeting. But I'm not alone. This is a task that is a little difficult to do by myself. So I am assisted by 3 very important people. But in this case, usually assisted by 3 very important people. However, today, given that it is a speachathon, we will have only one auxiliary role player, which is the timer. So typically, I'm also assisted by either a language evaluator or 2 different people who take up the role of the accounter and the grammarian, or one person taking up both the roles as the language evaluator. We will not have that today because each of the people, each of the 4 speakers that we have will have a separate evaluator. I will be in turn evaluating all of the evaluators. So think of me as a meta evaluator for today's meeting, where I look at how effectively each of the speakers or each of the evaluators have given their feedback and how they have motivated the contestants or the speakers to do well. And we also, I'm not sure whether we have table topics today because of the last minute change in agenda. But if there are table topics, I will also be evaluating all of the speakers who speak for table topics. Thank you so much, Diana. Diana has just volunteered to take up the R counter role. So thank you so much, Diana. So for this meeting, Diana will be taking up R counter. Can we just have Diana spotlighted so that everybody can see Diana, and I will just very quickly explain the role. So Diana will be recording or keeping a record of all of the crutch words or lexical fillers that are going to be there in our speech. So anything that you use that is unnecessary for your speech. For example, so, like, or needless repetition is going to be captured by Diana. And as each speaker speaks, she is going to keep sending all of the details on the chat. So thank you so much for volunteering. We appreciate you. Thank you, Diana. And now if I can speak more, but if the Toastmaster of the day has not joined, then I can tell you about the format of the meeting.
Please go ahead, Shrishti.
All right. So that's my role as general evaluator, but I will only come at the end. So what happens in the beginning? So typically, a Toastmasters meeting has 3 parts. The first part is the prepared speeches section, where the speakers actually prepare a speech beforehand based on a certain set of objectives given to them for a project and are evaluated by a dedicated evaluator. The second section in a typical Toastmasters meeting is the table topics section, where all contestants are who are present and guests, all the participants in the meeting are given an opportunity to speak on the spot for 1 to 2 minutes. And then the third section is the evaluation section, where everything in the meeting gets evaluated, and all of the speeches that have happened also get their own dedicated evaluators. So today, on account of it being a speakathon or a speechathon, we have a large number of speakers. So we have a total of 4 speakers, and we will have to cut short our table topic session because a majority of our time will be taken up by the speeches and the speech evaluators. And with that, I would like to call back the president into spotlight. Toastmaster Utkarsh, over to you.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. It's time that we move on to the exciting part, the first segment, which is the Speakathon. May I request our speaker number 2, Chintan NP Shade, if he's okay going first?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Before I call our speaker 2, may I request evaluator of speaker 2, who is Toastmaster Ashish, if I'm not wrong. Sorry, who's Toastmaster Manoj? Hi, to read out his speech objectives.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So, okay. Am I audible and visible, everything? Yeah, brilliant.
Yes,
Thank you. I think the speech for Chintan, the speech purpose of the speech is that for a member to deliver a speech with awareness of intentional and unintentional body language, as well as to learn, practice, and refine how he or she use non-verbal communication when delivering a speech. Yeah, that's pretty much the objective of the speech. And I'll hand it back to the table Toastmaster for taking over the screen. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manoj. Toastmaster Chinta, can we have a quick audibility check with you?
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are. Can you speak a little longer sentence for me?
I'm excited to deliver the speech today.
Thank you. You're perfectly audible and visible. Toastmaster Chintan, What if? What if Toastmaster Chintan, stage is yours?
Raise your hands if you ever faced problems in your life. Almost all. I too had my fair share of problems as I grew up. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. In 2014, while I was scrolling random YouTube videos, sitting in a small cyber cafe, I came across a speech where a bald guy with a grey suit and a rose came towards the audience and smelled the rose. Yes, you guessed it right. It was the speech of 2014 Toastmaster Dhananjaya, the world champion of public speaking. And the speech was about 7 minutes 27 seconds. But in my mind, it was looped for more than 7 weeks. After watching that speech, I went into a state thinking, what if I can create the magic on the stage? What if I can speak such fluent English? Now, truth be told, I was having great vocabulary back then, but it was limited to Gujarati. I was sitting in a teeny tiny cubicle of a cyber cafe in Gujarat watching the world champion of public speaking, and I was thinking, how can I become a speaker who can create magic on the stage? As usual, for most of us, my dream took a back seat as I grew older and I started doing job. Fast forward in 2021. When I was grinding in my new job in Gurgaon, I was watching YouTube again. This time I was sitting in my office. Obviously, I was having my headphones on. And while watching and scrolling randomly, I stumbled upon the same speech telling, I see something in you. Now, this time I felt as if that's no coincidence. I felt as if Dhananjaya spoke directly to me, that he saw something in me. In 2014, when I was sitting in a small cubicle, I didn't know English. But in 2021, I knew English, but I was not sure whether I would be able to do public speaking or not. I was thinking in 2014 that what if I can be a speaker? And in 2021, I thought, what if a big city like Gurgaon have a Toastmasters program? My fingers danced across the keyboard as I opened my black laptop and I searched Gurgaon Toastmasters clubs. 5 results popped up and I called each of them. I called 4 VP memberships and answer on the other side was saying that due to COVID restrictions, we are conducting meetings on Zoom. I wanted to create magic on the stage and not on the Zoom video. So I said, no, I won't be joining the club. And I called the final and the last from my list, Eloquent Toastmasters Club. This time the answer was different. The VP membership told that we are few clubs in Gurgaon that conducts hybrid meetings. And I said immediately yes. After 2 days, I went and attended my first Toastmasters meeting. And oh boy, did I jump on the stage? Yes. But after I jumped on the stage, my hands froze. My legs started shaking, my lips were trembling, and I could not find the words for a dream that I was seeing since long. And at the same time, the members started clapping. They started to encourage me. For the first time, I felt encouraged. And I spoke. I spoke for solid 7 minutes. Maybe it was the time that the president of the club had thought, what if we start using the timer for the guest introductions as well? If you ask me to summarize my life, I grew up answering what if. And not always my what ifs were positive. At the beginning, I used to sit in a corner of my room crying, being depressed to my mother, saying, "What if I fail? What if, mom, the life will never be good again?" To which my mom used to always answer with positive what if. That what if your life will change and you will do great? What if you will pass? And from those positive what ifs, I started to live my dreams by answering positive what ifs. Fast forward today, a boy who had a dream and thinking, what if I can be a speaker, is now delivering a speech and about to end a speech. All because of the right what if. Are you struggling in life? You are clueless? What if you start pondering the possibilities with positive what if? Thank you.
Can we have a huge round of applause for Toastmaster Chintan? Thank you so much for such a riveting speech, Toastmaster Chintan. We'll have a minute of silence. I request everyone to write feedback to Chintan in his personal chat. Thank you so much. All right, let's move forward. Next up, we have speaker number 2, who is going to be Toastmaster Anshuman. Toastmaster Anshuman, are you ready? All
Yes.
right. Just to give you a brief intro about Toastmaster Anshuman, Toastmaster Anshuman has been the past president of Turning Point Toastmaster, and he has been a Toastmaster for more than 5 years, if I'm not wrong. And also the fact that he works at Google, he's pretty impressive, and he's a wonderful Toastmaster. Can we have him on Spotlight? And before spotlighting him, I would also request his speech evaluator, who is Toastmaster Anand, to read out his speech objectives. Toastmaster Anand.
Thank you, Utkarsh. Please confirm if I'm audible and visible.
Yes, you are audible and visible. Please go ahead.
So Anshuman today is attempting his second project from first level of his path. And the project is all about evaluation and feedback. As a part of this speech, Anshuman will deliver a speech on any topic, collect the feedback, and work on that feedback, incorporate it in, then also evaluate as a part of this project. Timer, please note, timing is 5 to 7 minutes. All the very best, Anshuman. Over to you, Utkarsh.
Toastmaster Anshuman, can we have him on Spotlight, please? All right. Toastmaster Anshuman, Alexander and me. Alexander and me, Toastmaster Anshuman, stage is yours.
Alexander, the making of a god. As soon as I saw the title on the Netflix scrolling I was doing a few weeks back, I was intrigued. In my childhood days, I had heard a lot about Alexander, the great king who conquered the world. He is considered to be one of the most courageous, one of the most fierce, and one of the most clever tacticians who has conquered vast expanses of Persia, Egypt, and belongs to the glorified city of Macedonia. When I saw the series, I could only imagine what Alexander's life must have been. He came from a tiny tiny city from all perspectives at that point of time and had the ambition to conquer the world despite many constraints. During the series, I learned different tactics, different strategies that he used, and that made me wonder, can such tactics or strategies be replicated by anyone in today's day and age? What differentiated Alexander from any one of us? Or what differentiates Alexander, the great king, to Anshuman Mishra, a Turning Point Toastmasters member? I know all of us at Turning Point Toastmasters are capable of being as courageous or as fierce as Alexander the great king. But what are the traits, if any, I or we can learn from him and, and incorporate it in our daily lives? So, first of all, what I learned is that Alexander had that edge, had that courage, which we usually do not display in our daily lives. For example, when Alexander was trying to conquer Persia, which was almost the size of China and Russia combined at that point of time, he did not fear going into the battle even once. He had it all planned out. He had thoroughly studied what will be the battle strategies, what will be the war strategies, and how can he conquer, going into different formations, looking at different tactics to ensure that he puts that shield of mystery and permeates any war formations that can come his way. Planning in advance gave him that additional edge or that necessary courage to go there fiercely and be the best warrior possible. Second, he did not just rely on the physical strength of his battalion or himself, he also looked at different counter strategies, the human aspects of it. For example, he manipulated the king of Russia by conquering by taking his family into his own shield and using them as manipulative tactic to ensure that the king's mind is always concerned about the king's family, which was residing with Alexander. So he was conquering through physical and conquering through the mind itself. When I thought about it, that can I incorporate these elements into my own personal life? It made me think that any major personality has its pros and one has to live with the cons too. For Alexander, being the great king he was, his courage, his valor, his temperament, and his ability to conquer is definitely something I felt I can incorporate in my daily life by taking that extra risk when there is no available and ensuring that I go one step ahead when I am restricted by it. On the other hand, conquering or waging the war through manipulative tactics is something which may not be sustainable. That's something I will not want to learn from Alexander, and maybe look at what, as a leader, as a Turning Point Toastmaster leader, I can bring through my influence, I can bring through my help, I can bring through my resourcefulness and ensure that I am being of help to anyone and everyone. That conquering and winning might be a short term strategy, but being helpful and resourceful can be helpful for the long run. So, definitely, when I see Alexander, I'm definitely very inspired to have that courage to be warrior like, to be king like, and ensure that I'm leading from the front in wherever I have to perform that duty. At the same time, I have to be mindful that I am not as blind as Alexander, with not having the humility to understand that winning can have a cost associated with it, and just going out there blindly with the cause of winning, but ensuring that the strategy solves for the long run, where one is being resourceful and is being helpful for everyone involved in under the influence of leadership. I encourage you to watch the series. At the same time, I hope you also had a few learnings from Alexander the Great. Great. Over to you, Toastmaster Utkarsh.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anshuman, for such a riveting speech. We'll have a minute of silence. I request everyone to share the feedback to Toastmaster Anshuman in his private chat. Thank you so much. Timer, please note for the 1 minute. Thank you. All right, that 1 minute is indeed over. It's time for us to welcome our next speaker, whom is delivering her speech for the very first time. She's the newest member of our club. She's none other than Toastmaster Aparajita Darbari, and she's delivering her icebreaker today. Can we have a huge round of applause for her? And before I invite her, may I request her speech evaluator to read out her speech objectives, who is Toastmaster
Chintan.
Chintan here. All right, please go ahead. Sorry.
Thank you so much. So today my target speaker, Toastmaster Aparijita, is going to deliver her first speech in Toastmasters. Kudos to you for taking the speech craft journey and moving ahead in the journey of speech craft. Her speech objective is for a member to deliver to understand the public speech structure and to introduce herself to the club members. The time limit would be 4 to 6 minutes. And with that, I would like to wish my target speaker, Aparajita, all the very best. Over to you, Mr. President.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Chintan. Can we have Toastmaster Aparajita on spotlight, please? Can we have a quick audio video check with her as well?
I am audible and visible.
Hi, Aparajita. You are definitely audible and visible. Can you just speak a little bit, a longer sentence for everyone?
Today I'm going to deliver a speech for the very first time and I'm very nervous.
Perfect. You will rock it, Toastmaster Aparajita. All the very best. Here you go. Toastmaster Aparajita. Aparajita who? Aparajita who? Toastmaster Aparajita. Stage is yours.
Aprajita. Who? Who is this little baby girl born in such a cold weather of northern part of Indian country named Lucknow on 18th of December 1992? Yes, I am 90s kid who believes in practice makes man perfect, even if it bores me to the limit of dozing off in learning sessions, mostly math classes. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and our lovely guests. Today, I am going to give you a little glimpse of my life from the day I was being officially called Aprajita. Aprajita is a Sanskrit word. It means the one who is invincible. Invincible means the one who cannot be defeated at any cost. Dear fellow members, today I will walk you through the life of my life of three phases. My very first phase is my childhood. That time of life when I was getting started to learn my name, and not just by spelling, but how it is been significant, in what way it has been significant. Trust me, if I say that it is little difficult to pronounce. My childhood was an idyllic in nature. If I describe it so, I had an impeccable time with my mama and papa, my two pillars of life, and my elder sister with whom I had an love-hate relationship in my childhood. It was a close-knit family, and I was mostly in a euphoric mood around them. My mama used to tell me that I was the unplanned one. Explains the age gap between me and my sister. For your information, it's 8 years. I received so much warmth and love that it gave me one of the best qualities, that is being empathetic. Coming to my schooling, I was utterly mediocre in my studies, but I was really good in dancing and painting, and still I am. Now let me walk you through the second phase of my life. It played a very crucial role for me, and I have been a heartbreaking one too, where I lost one of my pillars to cancer. I cannot really explain how shattering it was for me, and it still feels the same. I was 14 when she was diagnosed with blood cancer, and that too at her last stage. We did all in our capacity to save her, and she fought the battle like a warrior queen. And our efforts were fruitful too, because she was finally cancer-free for a year. But unfortunately, it relapsed after being cancer-free for a year. And this time, it was an end game for her. I was hopelessly and helplessly facing one of the most difficult conundrums of my life, and that is, will she ever come back home now? And the answer was sadly no. After losing her, I was totally devastated, crying myself to sleep, questioning my life's purpose without her. Dear members, today I am not here to make you all gloomy. In her last days, she taught me one of the most important lessons of life, and that is, chin up, face your demon with a big smile on your face, no matter what. Until today, I am following her words. Now coming to my third phase of my life, my present self. Recently, I met courage, and that courage gave me strength to go ahead and face the world of career, opportunities, and work. I have a passion of teaching toddlers and have been teaching them since the age of 16. I'm totally into making it my career for two reasons. Teaching is a noble job. Second, we get lots of holidays. Shh. Coming back home, realizing that you have actually made a change in someone's life is a big achievement in itself and gives a sense of fulfillment from within. So by being a teacher, I would like to motivate those kids. In conclusion, I stand before you today with a steadfast determination to lead that life which resonates with the very essence of my name, invincible. Just as a phoenix rises from the ashes, I vow to embrace every challenge, overcome every obstacle, and emerge stronger and more resilient than before. Thank you so much. Over to you, Presiding Officer.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Prajita. Can we have a huge, huge round of applause for our debutante today? As is the Toastmaster custom, whenever there is an icebreaker, we tend to give a standing ovation to the speaker, and we will continue with this tradition. So may I request everyone to please stand up and give her a standing ovation right away. Wonderful, wonderful speech, Toastmaster Prajita. You have a long, long way to go, and you will crack it. You were a wonderful speaker today. Thank you so much. We'll also observe 1 minute of silence for everyone to give their personal feedback to Aprajita. I request everyone to do that on her personal chat. Thank you so much.
Hope everyone is providing feedback to Aparajita after that fantastic speech. And you might be wondering why the hell I am here. There's a reason for that, and that is our beloved Toastmaster of the day, emergency Toastmaster of the day, is also the prepared speaker, the full and final one. So let me invite his evaluator, Toastmaster Ashish, to share the speech objectives. Can we have Ashish on the spotlight, please? Hi, Ashish.
Hello, everybody. Wish you very good evening to the entire Turning Point team. Extremely happy to be here today with you. And my role today is to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Utkarsh. Utkarsh is following the path presentation mastery, and today he is attempting his speech on level 2, path 2. The objective of his speech is to understand his communication style, and the purpose is that he would try and learn about different communication style and identify his or her primary communication style. The timing of the speech is 5 to 7 minute timer, please note. And I would be observing with a lot of eagerness the communication style of Toastmaster Utkarsh. Back to you, TMOD.
Thank you, Ashish. Utkarsh, let's have you on the spotlight for a quick audio video check.
Am I audible?
Would
Am
you
I
like to
visible?
speak? Yes,
Well, I
you
have
are
spoken a
audible
lot
and you are
already.
visible.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much. So, folks, presenting to you the fourth and final speaker of the day, Toastmaster Utkarsh, the power of being a chameleon. The power of being a chameleon, Toastmaster Utkarsh.
Hailing from the Hindi heartland of India, I have been privy to this phrase all the time, which is गिरगिट की तरह रंग बदलना, or in English, changing colors like a chameleon. And somehow we always associated it with a negative connotation. Today, I want to challenge this notion, and we'll get to it in a while. As part of completing my project, which is called Understanding Your Communication Style, I had to take a simple test to better understand the same. And the results were that my dominant style of communication is supportive. And according to Toastmasters International, the characteristics of a supportive communicator are calm, sincere, steady, gentle, and approachable. I don't know whether this is my most appropriate style of communication, but let me tell you that I was equal part amused and confused. When I checked further, I have received more or less equal scores for other styles, which are direct, initiating, and analytical. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm pretty happy that about this result, because being a supportive communicator is what I aspire to be. And everyone does, actually, if I'm not wrong. I feel that this style lays a foundation for any effective communication, and other communication styles can certainly build on it. I work as a PhD scholar aspiring to be in academia, where you certainly want to be approachable and gentle, regardless of your preference in a particular communication style. However, what I want to emphasize is that when a situation calls for it, it's also okay for me to pick and choose the most appropriate communication style, so be any of it. Let's say that I'm in a business meeting, and in this setting, I don't want to beat around the bush too much. If necessary, I am fully capable as well of being a direct communicator who is competitive, result oriented, and focused. The third communication style, which is the analytical style, which is all about being cautious, precise, disciplined. I generally use this style as well when I give my lectures or presentations at my university. And talking about the final communication style, which Toastmaster International talk about, which is initiating. Initiating communications are sociable, enthusiastic, and persuasive. And when I contemplated, I concluded that I often use this style as well whenever I'm in a creative, informal space and have to engage with the participants. What I am trying to emphasize is the notion that it's perfectly okay not to have a single dominant communication style. I gave the reference of a majestic chameleon in the beginning, a creature renowned for its ability to adapt seamlessly to its environment, changing colors to suit the surroundings. We as human beings should also have this ability to adapt and tailor our communication to different situations and individuals. Let me shed more light to this if you are still not convinced. Well, let's see. Let's say while you are negotiating or being in any kind of negotiation, whether it's for a business deal or resolving a conflict with your friend, being able to adjust your communication style can significantly impact the outcome. For instance, when negotiating with someone who takes a competitive and aggressive approach, you may need to assert yourself firmly to ensure your interests are well represented. However, when negotiating with someone who values cooperation and compromise, you may adopt a more collaborative and supportive approach to find mutually beneficial solutions. Another example, effective leadership often requires the ability to adapt communication styles to inspire and motivate your team members. Say, when providing feedback or delegating tasks, a leader may need to adjust its communication style based on the individual preferences and the respective strengths and the weaknesses of each team member. I want to basically establish here that there's no such thing as a dominant communication style. It is only convenient and situational based communication style. And remember, folks, it's perfectly okay to be a chameleon, aka Kirgit, in a world full of discolored personalities. After all, life is too short to be a monochrome. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Are you ready to be a communication style chameleon? Well, I don't know about you, but that's what I am striving to be every single day. Back to you, Toastmaster Anand.
Thank you for that of the project objectives weaved into an educational content. Thank you so much. Folks, let's take 1 minute of silence to provide personal feedback in private chat window to speaker number 4, Utkarsh. Utkarsh, also please confirm, by the way, whether I had any, breaking of the sound or video in between.
Yes.
There is, Toastmaster Anand. There's some lag.
Is it huge?
Yeah, your
It is
network toggles
manageable.
between yellow and red.
Is it big?
So yeah.
I will kill the second device then. Utkarsh, I'm using only one device. Hope I don't have any more breakups because of that now.
Much better. Yeah, much better, Toastmaster Anand.
Okay. Let us know when 1 minute is up. All right, thank you. Now is the time I hand over back to Utkarsh to forward the session and announce the table topics. Open.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Anand. We had 4 wonderful speakers who delivered high quality speeches, and we'll wait to see how they're getting evaluated by our speech evaluators in a while. But in the meantime, we are going to enter into the most exciting and probably more, equally nerve-wracking part of our Toastmasters meeting, which is the table topics. And our table topic master today is someone, you don't have to introduce him much, and I'm not going to say much. He has laurels more than probably more than my closet can handle. So I will just call distinguished Toastmaster Anand on the virtual stage with a huge round of applause. Can we have him on spotlight?
Thank you, Utkarsh. Back over after this formal transition. Now let's get into the much informal part of our Toastmasters meeting, which is the table topic session. My condition for the table topics is that let's have our videos on. Even if you're not speaking, for the sake of the speaker on the stage, let us have our videos on as a token of encouragement and a basic courtesy. Thank you, Saurabh. Thank you, Ashish, for switching it on. Waiting for my brother Nasir and Ashima, if possible, for you as well. Switch it on. Thank you. Now, the format for today's table topic is slightly different, and credit goes to Anshuman for introducing us to the character named Alexander. That gave me an idea. How about today's table topics are simply an era? I will just announce a time period, an era, and you have to assume that if you were to time travel from today to that era, what one thing you will take along from here to there, and what one thing you will bring from there to here. That's it. Simple. Understood, everyone? Give me a thumbs up. And you have to speak for minimum 1 minute. Add your whys and hows to your choices. At 1 minute, you will see a green signal. At 1.5, a yellow signal. And at 2 minutes, a red signal. You have 30 more seconds to wrap up after seeing the red signal at 2 minutes. But basically, you have to speak for minimum 1 minute and wrap up within maximum 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Who would like to speak for the first time, as you know, for the first sequence? Okay, everyone wants someone else to try it out. You know, at one time I got this as a table topic in one of the contests. Everyone wants to go to heaven, no one wants to die. Well, that same situation is happening over here. So I will have to pick. I will pick Manoj. Manoj, how about you trying it out?
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So Manoj, you got the gist. The topics are supposed to be just name of an era. All you have to do is time travel from here to there. Bring one thing and take one thing over there. That's it. So Manoj, are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
So Toastmaster Manoj, the Mughal period of Shah Jahan. The Mughal period of Shah Jahan. Toastmaster Manoj.
Fellow Toastmasters and guest. Now, it's a very interesting stuff about Shah Jahan because Mughal period of Shah Jahan. So if one thing I have to take there, I mean, to be honest with you, I've just been there a couple of months back with my family members, came from South. So if I have to take something back, I will be definitely take my small, chubby, lovely kitten with me. I'm a great fan of animals. I have a very small, very small kitten. It's a Persian breed, which we have got it last year. And he's going to get his birthday. We are going to celebrate in a big fun fair kind of thing on March 28th. We have already selected the cakes. We have already selected the kind of jewels for him, those kind of thing. And also we had pretty much looking, different family members are looking on the Amazons, what dress we need to order for our Persian jewel. So basically for us, it's a kind of a family member to us. I will be definitely take my small kitten, which is called, we have different names to it. He has a linguistic problems, and when we call them, when we call, my son used to call him Simba, I call something else, I call Pappu kind of thing, or maybe Golu kind of thing. My wife call him Babu Gutta, basically for a South Indian name. So we have different names for that small Persian kitten. So I will be definitely going to take this one, and I'm going to show, I have complete no idea about how Shah Jahan or Akbar's or Birbal looks like, but I will be definitely take them there and try to sit next to Birbal, because Birbal, I personally believe, because we used to read those Champaks and all those stories when I was on my old days, the kind of knowledge Birbal has, the way quick fix solutions he do that, I would definitely want my small kitten to solve this kind of problem for us, because we have so much of problems at home. Sometimes our electricity doesn't work, sometimes the light doesn't work, sometimes the water doesn't come from this one. So I would like my kitten, which is Simba or maybe Golu, to fix those kind of problems, get those knowledge sitting next to Birbal, and get those kind of information from them. So I think I would be definitely go for it. I can't see the lights actually. Where is the green lights and yellow lights there? Who is the timer actually? Or should I continue speaking on it? Okay, anyway. So that would be my my thing. So what I would urge everyone to do that is that, get those kittens, I mean, get to animal lovers, get those pets, whether it's cats or dogs or cows or whatever, actually, get them, take them back to the ancient dynasty or medieval era, actually, and get them exposed to Akbar, Birbal, or whoever, actually, I mean, and get this knowledge. Thank you very much. And over to you, Table Topic Master Anand.
Thank you, Manoj. I wish I would get the chance to go over there and tell those poor laborers who are building the Taj Mahal that, friends, just run away. The emperor is about to cut your hands off. You missed an opportunity, though you took your kitten there. Let's see someone else if they have a more philanthropic way about it, or maybe a more devious, mischievous way around it. Who would like to try out for the next era? And timer, don't get lost in the stuff. I know you are handling a lot of things, but let's be on the toes. Saurabh, would you like to give it a try?
Sure. Like Diane ma'am was also raising, and you can take any order, whichever line.
I'll give Diana a topic, and Diana will start writing. Time is exactly 8 p.m. Diana, so perfect time for you. 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So Diana's era is, what if Diana goes to the time of dinosaurs? The era of dinosaurs. So Diana, what would you carry from here, and what will you bring from there? Start writing. While you write, Saurabh, let's bring you on the spotlight. All right. Saurabh, you have already spoken, so I confirm audio video check done. You are spotlighted. Saurabh, what if you get to meet Lord Buddha? What if you get to meet Lord Buddha?
Thank you for this topic. Lord Buddha, earlier he was known as Siddhartha. He was born in royal dynasty. In that royal dynasty, he got lot of VIP treatment. He was leading a luxurious life. He was enjoying a lot. He enjoyed so lot. He was not able to understand real life challenges. Once he told his charioteers to take him out of the palace. The charioteer moved him around after seeing lot of sufferings like death, disease, etc. He came to know that's the harsh reality of life. There is something more to explore. So he gave all those enjoyment and started becoming a monk, walking long distances, facing lot of challenges. Then he sat on under a people tree and he got enlightenment. So I would like to meet him. So I would like to meet him and get knowledge and enlightenment from him so that I could improve and understand the real life. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Saurabh. You actually spoke in the very last line the challenge I posed in form of this topic, that you will bring enlightenment from there. While I go to the next speaker, there is a poll launched for the best prepared speaker. Pick your favorite speaker from the 4 prepared speakers today. We will proceed, but just giving you 5 seconds to decide. And yes, you can vote for yourself as well. All right, while you do that, remember, Manoj went to the era of Emperor Shah Jahan, the one who built Taj Mahal. Diana is still traveling in the era of dinosaurs. Saurav went to meet Lord Buddha. Nasir Khan, are you ready to visit?
Yes.
All right, Nasir Khan, let's bring you on the spotlight. So, Toastmaster Nasir Khan, remember, you have to carry one thing in your bag from here and bring something as a souvenir from there. Remember, those are the main elements. Nasir Khan, you get to travel to the era of Columbus. Columbus on his sea voyage to Northern America to meet Rand Indians. Columbus, the era of Columbus.
I studied about the Columbus, but right now I am not getting the references. But yeah, it is from the history. So I will want to take his researches to the current era, which will help to the current generation. And from the current era, I want to take the new technologies, and so that there the Columbus could use those technologies in better way and can perform their task in a better way. So if we see the difference now and from the previous era, the big difference is from the technology perspective. Now all the things changed completely due to the technologies. Before the thing, there was a lot of complexity, but now we can get a lot of information just in our finger. And so for that reason, I want to take the technology era to that era. Yeah, thank you. Over to you.
Thank God, Nasir Khan, you didn't tell him that, hey, this is not India. India is the other way around. As we would have been the America. Great. Second last topic of the day. Who would like to take it up? See, it's not a difficult thing. Right now, you have a mobile phone, weapons, God knows what all. You can bring anything from there, create havoc over there. But remember, you have to bring something back from there. So who would like to take it up? Maybe Ashima, maybe Marutesh, maybe Srishti. I will read
Anand,
out
I
for
can take it up.
Diana a little later. Ashish, all right. So Ashish, let's have you on the spotlight. Ashish, remember the basic ask is you have to bring something from there and, vice versa. Ashish, you are getting transported today to the battlefield of Mahabharat. To the battlefield of Mahabharat.
Friends, wish you very good evening. Here is Ashish Agarwal reporting from the scene of Mahabharata, where I see in front of me that Arjuna, the stupid guy, is saying that he will not fight. Come on. He was so excited that no, I should fight. Duryodhana, I'm going to kill you, and so on and so forth. And on the day of the fight, see what the guy is telling. And imagine what I see. Here come Krishna giving the lesson of Bhagavad Gita and inspiring Arjuna to pick up his bow and arrow and fight again. Now, when it comes to me thinking, I went there without even thinking what should I bring from here to there. Maybe since I'm a reporter, as I told you, I can get a video camera and give you a live summary or live telecast of Mahabharata and live telecast of Gita. Imagine how great it will be if you all are able to see Gita firsthand. And you don't need to read the book, but you can take the advantage of the Krishna telling the entire Gita's Gyan to you live. Wow, that will be wonderful. I would love to have it. And we can fast forward it and watch the relevant parts whenever required. That's one thing for sure I'm carrying from here. On a better note, why not to bring Krishna from there to here? That would solve the entire problem. Not only we can have Gita Gyan as and when we want, and see, we have in people like Anant and Chintan, who are good friend of mine, and Utkaresh and so on and so forth, who are in a way zero Krishnas for me, but having one real Krishna would be a pleasure. Back to you, Toastmaster, table topic master, Anant.
Thank you, Ashish. Who wouldn't want to, meet and bring Krishna to home? A lot of technical challenges in that, more than the live telecast of the battle itself. But yeah, all right. Final topic. Srishti, would you like to take it up? Say something for audio check. Yes, you are audible and you are visible. You're audible, visible, and spotlighted. So, am I audible to you, Srishti?
Yes, you are.
Just checking. Okay. Srishti, you are getting transported to the day when Bill Gates built Microsoft from his garage. When Bill Gates started to build the Microsoft, grounds up in his garage. On that day, you are getting to meet him. What would you bring from here? What would you carry forward from there?
If I got to meet Bill Gates on the day he started Microsoft, I would bring with me the 2024 knowledge of how well the company has performed in all of these years. Use it like a lottery ticket and befriend him. I would become an early investor. I would become a shareholder. I would say, I will do whatever you need me to do, learn whatever skill you need me to do, need me to learn, and just make me a shareholder. I don't even care about 50-50 here, okay? We're looking at maybe like 30-70. I'm happy with 30% or 20. 10 also will do, no problem. Because if I did that and I brought with me 10% of Microsoft shares from that first day, I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't even be spending my time attending Toastmasters meeting, trying to upskill myself, become a better speaker, better leader, hoping to make senior manager in some company. I would be relaxing. I would be sitting or lying down at a beach, sipping some martini or something, my legs stretched out, nothing to do, because I would have all the money in the world and all of the peace of mind for having made one good decision. However shady the technique of that decision may have been, but I would have been there and I would have been somewhere else. What about you, Toastmaster Anand? What were you expecting to hear?
Well, I would have taken an Apple phone myself to just show that future belongs to not the large screen but the small screens. So start focusing on them, so you don't have to launch Nokia, Lumia, Microsoft phones, etc. later and get embarrassed. But fine, there is a reason we can't travel to the past. Otherwise, people like Srishti would have been the multi-billionaire or trillionaires, and
Just
the rest of the
waiting for
hardworking
the
folks wouldn't have
just
anywhere else to
waiting for
go.
the time
For
machines to be
now,
launched.
For now, allow me to read a very vivid kind of response from Diana. Diana got the topic that what if she gets transported to the world of dinosaurs? And Diana says that time is rush around dinosaurs over years, living so long time. And man used to live in the rock house, that cold weather, billions of years ago, no heat around them. By the way, Diana is from Canada. So you understand why she's talking around the heat and the cold weather and all. No, haven't any bad or light. Well, Diana, thank you so much for typing it in under 6 minutes straight. That's the fastest time you have taken over all these table topics. So congratulations. Not a single spelling mistake as well. Great job, Diana. We really, really appreciate it. For now, I hand over to the Toastmaster of the evening, Utkarsh, with a request. If you are ready with the polls, launch them now, or you can do that later. If we are ready, Utkarsh, you can launch it.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Anand. I pay heed to you, and I'm launching the polls for the best table topic speaker. I request everyone to cast their votes for the best table topic speaker. I will just give 10 seconds for everyone to figure out. All right. In the meantime, thank you so much, firstly, for this wonderful table topic session that we had. It was very intriguing. I always wanted to have a time machine, and this is something that really intrigued me. And the ideas I got, I mean, people are so creative here. Toastmaster Srishti talking about the whole Bill Gates thing, about how she can, get those ideas from Bill Gates. That was wonderful. Thank you so much. It was great. But now it's time that we have all performed. We all have seen how we have done. Now it's time that we get evaluated, because it's very important for us that we grow, and we can only grow when we get some feedback, some valuable invested feedback. And for that, I would like to call upon our general evaluator for today, who today is Toastmaster Srishti. Can we have her on spotlight, please?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Utkarsh, for bringing me back. Today, my job is to evaluate everything that happens and did not happen in the meeting. And I will start by calling upon the 4 evaluators, the dedicated evaluators that we have for our 4 speakers. So could we start with evaluator 1 in the order of the evaluator in the evaluation, which is Toastmaster Manoj. Toastmaster Manoj, can we have you highlighted, spotlighted? And could you speak a sentence to just check your audio and video?
Hello all, can you hear me?
Yes,
yep. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. Very good evening to you all, and especially to the guest, and more important, our speaker, Toastmaster Chintan. What an inspirational story, what he said today. And we can all relate to it. And we can also embrace the kind of story he said in this virtual format. So how do I going to evaluate him? So what I see, what I hear, and what I felt, that's more important for me. Now, especially when you are in this visual presentation kind of thing, where you got tucked into the 16-inch screens, the speech objective was body language, very powerful tool when you are speaking, actually. I'm not going to touch upon his content of the speech or the kind of thing, but I would be more focusing on the body language. So the kind of postures from the the time you start actually a speech, you're very confident, you know what you are saying actually. And especially your eye contacts was tucked into the screen. That was great. You have consistently been looking at the camera, which seems that you have prepared to deliver the speech on that. And your facial expressions was very good as well. I mean, some of them are very, very highly expressive, and some of them are very light expressive, when I say, which really helps to reinforce your message, strongly and impactfully kind of thing. When I say about body language, the objective of the speech, there are a lot of large body languages where you have trying to broaden your hand gestures and show about how you looks like, and also very tiny, whiny kind of hand gestures as well. Some of the hand gestures really helps me to understand is the finger dancing on your keyboard. You obviously shown that, it's moving on this one. Phone calling few times, and you have a zoom, which is also like a kind of thing. So you really get into the skin of the game by telling about exactly what is the speech is all about, the objective on it. Now, I'm sure you would be looking how you can able to pivot your speech into the next level, how you can be able to improve your speech on this one. Now, when you are in this, what do you call the virtual format, your strategy about the adjustment of camera and consideration has to be very important. Now, initially, when you started your speech, you're obviously having a very good eye contact on this camera. But I've seen on the first or maybe few minutes, you were trying to move from the camera. Now, when you are on the online session or on presentation session, when you are in person kind of thing, you can always do that kind of thing. But when you are in the screen, it is a risky business, actually, if you start moving them, because your camera doesn't move, actually. It's going to be static in one location. So that is something we need to look into it. Second thing is that you are very close to your camera. So your temple from up was not showing up there. Those kind of thing. The other thing which I like about, I would say that your speech has a lot of voice was very bit flat kind of thing. So maybe kind of a pitch, the pace, and the voice modulation, if you can try to do that, really enforces your message very strongly on it. The third thing which I believe is your background. And your background is very important when you are in a screen, kind of thing. It was not very, I can see one side of the background was a bit black. So your spotlight was there on you, but people get confused and people get kind of attention move out of it. So maybe it's very important that you need to be very cynical about choosing your background, maybe try to do some kind of practice on it. But overall, what I really like about it, you are very confident about what you're trying to speak about it. The way you use the virtual, the mechanisms and the toolkit kind of thing, very helpfully you manage. So with that, I believe I'll be looking forward. Hopefully this minor adjustment can really helps you to take your speech into next level. And with that, I'll hand over the screen back to our general evaluator, Toastmasters Srishti. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manoj, for your detailed feedback. I will be giving you feedback at the end, so wait up for that. Next, can we have our second evaluator, Toastmaster Anant, who evaluated the second speech?
Thanks so much, Madam General Evaluator. I hope I am audible. A thumbs up will do. Let's celebrate what Anshuman brought to us today. The life of an extraordinary leader, a warrior. It is a topic, it is a personality that has impressed me the most as well. I have read about him in great detail. And in fact, my CC10 speech in the curriculum before Pathways, there were competent communicator manuals, and my finale for that was about Alexander himself. So thank you, Anshuman, for bringing back the glorious memories of that era. I loved how you structured your speech. You had 3 points to talk around. And that universal structure of having a 3-body problem, that just gives it an earthy kind of feeling. Otherwise, it just leaves a bitter taste to the mouth that, hey, speaker spoke around something I'm not able to recollect. But I'm sure everyone will be able to recollect over here that you spoke around Alexander's strength, his resourcefulness, that was the third topic. And in the middle, it was about not using the brute force alone, but being strategic. So brilliant, great job. On top of that, you did not just name these 3 bullet points. You had a very specific phrase. For example, and bam, came a story. So that was a perfect way to fill up the air. I would not say that this speech was supposed to be an inspirational one, a persuasive one, but this was just one of those kind of speeches where you get impressed by a topic, a recent documentary on Netflix, let's say, and you create a speech out of it and then just park it in the box. For that purpose, I feel this is a perfect speech. This is one of the stock speeches. How can you take it better? Well, be true to the facts. At one place, I got confused whether you said it was ruler of Russia or Persia. I did an immediate check. Alexander never reached Russia, so it should have been Persia. Maybe we'll check on the live telecast later on what exactly was the word that you used. Another one was you spoke around battle. Did not say Battle of Guagamela. The moment you make it specific, and suddenly an altogether different element pops up, and that makes the speeches even more remarkable. You could have involved a few of his surroundings involved, for example Hephaestion, Asia Minor, Porus, and the story would have been much more vivid. One word that I want you to check around, that is permeate. I understand where you came from, what the context you are using, entering into the opposing side, just breaking apart the formation. Permeate is not the word. Permeate is, let's say, spreading into the air. So an aroma filled the air. Permeate is just all encompassing word. Infiltrate is the word perhaps you were using. So maybe rewriting or redrafting the speech is a call of the order. To sum it up, you had a three-pointer structure to the your speech. You had perfect examples and a very hot topic of the recent time. Just be careful with the words, the facts, the terms that you use. All the very best. Over to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anand. Now let me call upon the third evaluator for the evening, Toastmaster Chintan.
Toastmaster Aparijita, you impressed me and I believe everyone by the way you crafted your title, Aparijita Who. And at the end of the speech, we realized a woman who is a true symbol of resilience. And that's what your speech has conveyed. That you are a wonderful human being, just like all of us had been through ups and downs, but is ready to rise like a phoenix. So kudos to you for delivering a wonderful inspirational speech. What I loved from your speech, the first thing was the objective. Your objective was to introduce yourself and to learn the basic structure of speech. And you aced it. You introduced yourself to us in 3 phases, as well as you had clear structure, opening, body, and conclusion. And you also had a message, which at the beginning of Toastmasters journey, some of us miss. So you had an intact structure of opening, body, conclusion, and a message. That makes your speech a wholesome speech. Also, what I loved from your speech was the word wizardry you used. The words you used like love-hate relationship, shattered the lost one. You used so many great words to depict the right emotion. And we could also feel the emotion not by the words, but by your face and by voice. When you said you loved someone, we could feel the pain in your voice as well as in your eyes. So great job done in terms of the speech structure, the words you used, the way you depicted the emotion with voice and facial expressions. How about you stand up and deliver your speech? Because in Zoom, sometimes what happens that whenever you are speaking and looking left to right, we might get an idea that we are not being connected with you. So have focus on the camera lens, stand up. Your speech had great scope. You said you had 3 phases of life: childhood, what happened in between, and your current self. You could have stood up from left to right on the stage and explain your speech in a chronological order. That would have made your speech from good to great. The second point which I would like to tell you is the transition. You had clear structure, as I said, but in the transition, you always said that coming to my childhood, coming to my true self, coming to this phase, what if you just omit those specific words and show us because transition should be subtle in my opinion rather than uttering out. Just tell us, and audience will do the math and they'll understand. Overall, you delivered a wonderfully crafted speech with superb structure, confidence, voice modulation, and facial expressions to the T. You excelled at the objective of the speech. If you could improve upon the eye contact and if you could stand up and deliver, you are going to rise up and up like a phoenix in Toastmasters. Over to you, G.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chintan. And now calling the final evaluator for today, Toastmaster Ashish.
Thank you, Journal Evaluator Srishti. If you can pin the speaker as well, that will be great, so we can have a contact with my target speaker. So today, Toastmaster Utkarsh completed his project of level 2, project 2, and the purpose of the project is well delivered. And I would like to give my compliment to my target speaker Utkarsh. He hooked his audience firstly with his title, very unique, very distinct from actually what he had content. So the title itself, much before you uttered even a single word, the title of The Power of Being a Chameleon, I think hooked everybody, especially me. As they say, each coin has two sides, and today you showed us the bright side of the coin of Girgit Ki Tarah Rang Badalna. That was very unique way of crafting the speech, and I must give a lot of compliment to you for having thought through this. Very unique idea and extremely well done. And I would share with you my 2 cents, and the 2 cents each will have two sides, as the Girgit's quote as well is having. So first and foremost, the point where you excelled was the structure. Your speech has a very clear opening, good body, where you talked about the various communication styles and the styles which you prefer and how you've been using them, and then ending with a message to audience. Extremely well done, and the title of the speech was stitched throughout the story. Full marks on the content, title management, and structuring your speech. Extremely well done. And I think second piece, which really touched my heart as far as your speech is concerned, that despite the speech was educational and informative, but still the manner in which you staged it, and most importantly, the manner in which you delivered it. It did not look like that you were giving knowledge or you were giving gyan, as we call in Hindi. It looked more like you communicating with your audience, telling them what you feel about it, what you think about it. And I think the trick was done there by your voice modulation. You possess a very sweet voice, and the way you modulated it, like for example, you said, I aspire to be a supportive communicator, however, and you pause there, you hooked the audience with the modulations at the right places, and your audience was going through with the speeches as you were going. Extremely well done. 2 cents with regard to the improvement. First and foremost, I would suggest that when it comes to persuading, it is emotional as well as knowledgeatic. And I think the rational part was structured well in your speech. Perhaps you could build in a little bit of emotional dimension as well. How emotionally audience benefit by adopting a chameleon style of speech, or the style in terms of situational style of communication. So I think a little bit of emotional part could be well stitched there. And the second input which I would like to give you is that you had quite a good usage in terms of gesture, like when you were saying 1 2 3, you used the hand gestures, etc. But it was only partly visible to us because you were sitting. So maybe you could challenge yourself to stand and communicate a little more emotively with your hand gestures and with your movements on the stage. I think these two parts you could work on. And to sum up, you delivered a fantastic speech today, delivering your purpose, a very nicely structured speech, well delivered with good voice modulation. You may challenge yourself to leverage emotions more and leverage body language more by standing and giving your speech. Indeed, as you finished, life is very short, especially to be a monochrome. May our chameleon succeed. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashish, and thank you so much all of the evaluators for sharing your feedback for all of the speakers. I'll evaluate the meeting and then get back get to evaluating all the evaluators as well. So let me start from the beginning. We started on time. That's something that Turning Point Toastmasters is known for. We always start sharp at 7. We did have a lot of glitches. So for one, we didn't have enough role players to take all of the roles in the beginning. Thank you, Diana, for stepping in. However, we still didn't have a language evaluator or a grammarian. And that is something that we felt that now I am feeling, the lack of, because we did have some very great and some questionable usage of grammar, and I would have loved for that to be pointed out as well. But however, I won't be getting into that. So that the second is we did have an emergency, which is where our Toastmaster of the day did not show up, was not able to attend the meeting. In that situation, I think it is fair, or it is aspirational, or something that we could look at doing, is having backup role players, especially for the most important ones. Probably maybe have within the club people who have backup team or presentations prepared, so that in case of something, there could be in case of any such issues, there can always be someone who can just jump in and take the call. So that's that. But that being said, I think our two people who stepped in and took over the roles, Toastmaster Utkarsh, who was already inundated with the PO role and having a speech and having to take up teamwork at the last minute without preparation, I think that's commendable. So definitely kudos to you, and kudos to Toastmaster Anant, who is much more experienced in covering up these, plugging these holes, and and also stepped in at the last minute to cover for Utkarsh as well, while also having his own role, his own evaluation, all of that. So kudos to the people who showed up and took responsibility. Do better to people who did not show up or did not take roles. So that. Now coming to table topics, unfortunately, I'm not able to provide a very detailed feedback for each of the speakers at this moment. But I would say that other than Toastmaster Ashish, I felt that none of the speakers actually addressed all parts of the topic. So I think that's one advice I would give to all of the speakers today who took up table topics. Please pay attention to the topic, and please try to answer the questions that are put forward to you. So there were two parts of the question. So there were both that had to be answered. I know that it was a little bit of a complex topic today, a little bit different from the table topics that we are used to, but being alert and paying attention would have solved for this little bit of complication. Now moving on to the evaluators. So we had 4 evaluators today, and I will be evaluating them. Wow. Okay. So one thing that I would like to call out, which was good with all evaluators. So I've just written it down so many times, and I think I should just say it once for everybody. So this is something that every single person did well, which was having a structure to their evaluation. I think all of the people here seem to be seasoned evaluators, people who are not doing this for the first time, people who have done this before, and you're very familiar with the idea that whenever you're saying something, you are able to structure it and present it in a logical and coherent format. So I think that's kudos to all of you. You have done that. Now going one by one, with evaluator 1, Toastmaster Manoj, the thing that you did really well, was you talked about how you would be evaluating, like what I saw, what I heard, what I felt. And I think that's a really good way of talking about what you're going to be saying, and talking about how you're going to be structuring your work. So that's really nice. You also, instead of providing a general evaluation, you also focus specifically on the topic and the evaluation objective. So I think that was really good. And that's something that all of the evaluators can learn from, that instead of just providing a general overview, focus a majority of your time to addressing the objective. And I also think that your transitions were really smooth. So instead of saying that now I have done your commendations, now I will talk about recommendations, you actually did a very, very smooth transition. And I think that was very nice. It was subtle, and it was personally, I received it really well. And for you, I think I don't have any negative or like improvements to point out, but I do think that you can take it to the next level. I would suggest looking at some of the evaluation speeches from other districts. So there is a district level competition that happens for evaluation. And they look at evaluation not just as an evaluation, but also as a mini 2 to 3 minute speech that you're expected to be giving. And there are certain Toastmasters, even in our district, who are really, really good at that. And I would love for you to aspire to be that level. I really think that's the way to go for you. Our second evaluator was Toastmaster Anant. So other than the feedback, I think one of the things that you did really well was making your evaluation extremely evidence-driven. So not only were you making a point, you were actually evidencing each of your statements with excerpts and words from the speech itself. So I think that makes your evaluation very clear. And at the end of your evaluation, you also summarized it. So if someone was, if the recipient is struggling to make a note or make a mental note of all of this, I think that summarization really helps. One suggestion that I would have is you only have a very limited amount of time. You have 2 to 3 minutes at max. So maybe make the evaluation about the other person and not about yourself. So, for example, you mentioned that you also spoke about Alexander the Great in your speech. I think that you can acknowledge or you can give a nod to the relevance of the topic. However, taking more than just a few seconds about this and talking about how before Pathways there was the handbook or something, I think that took away from the time that you could have given as a gift to the person you were evaluating. So I think that's something that I would like to leave you with. Coming to the third evaluator, Toastmaster Chintan. Other than structure, of course, there was also, I also felt your evaluation to be very motivating, and your suggestions that you had given to be extremely appropriate to the level of the speech. So, for example, you found out that Aprajita is doing her first icebreaker speech. And I think all of the suggestions and all of the feedback that you gave was very relevant to that particular phase in a speaker's life. So I think, thank you so much for that. And the only, so one thing, however, I felt was a little bit, I wish you hadn't done that, which is that you mispronounced the speaker's name. And so that's something that I feel, given the number of times it appeared in the speech, the number of times it was spoken about, you didn't catch the correct pronunciation. So that's something that I would hope that if you have any doubts about in the future, please just check with the person that you're evaluating. I think it's a way of us showing our respect to the person that we're evaluating. So that's only that. For you. And our fourth evaluator is Toastmaster Ashish. Toastmaster Ashish, again, like with Anant, I think you had evidence-based recommendations, evidence-based evaluation. And you also approached the evaluation in a way that was appropriate to the speaker, and you also summarized it really well. So at the end of your speech, you put it together. Just one suggestion that I have is, you started by saying your speech achieved all of the objectives. And I know that we've had the objectives being read out in the beginning, but it can be hard to actually make that connection right at the end of that meeting. So when you're saying you achieved your objective, you could just add that little bit, you achieved your objective of body language, or you achieved your objective of speaking about negotiation or presentation styles. So I think that is it for the evaluation today. What I would also like to do is call upon our timer, Toastmaster Utkarsh is our timer. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator, for such an invested feedback. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I am your timer for today, and let me start off with my timer duties. We had 4 prepared speakers today. Toastmaster Chintan spoke for 5 minutes 56 seconds. Toastmaster Anshuman spoke for 6 minutes 10 seconds. Toastmaster Prajita spoke for 5 minutes 12 seconds. I'm sorry I could not time myself. So these are the 3 speakers I noted down. All of them are within their time limit and are qualified for voting. Moving on to the table topic speakers. I'm so sorry, Manoj, I could not time you. So moving on to Toastmaster Saurabh. Toastmaster Saurabh spoke for 1 minute 26 seconds. Toastmaster Nasir spoke for 1 minute 38 seconds. Toastmaster Ashish spoke for 1 minute 45 seconds. And Toastmaster Shrishti spoke for 1 minute 52 seconds. Coming to the speech evaluators, all the speech evaluators were very benevolent and took a lot, utilized most of their time to speak. Toastmaster Manoj spoke for 3 minutes 22 seconds. Toastmaster Anand spoke for 3 minutes 25 seconds. Toastmaster Chintan spoke for 3 minutes 4 seconds, and Toastmaster Ashish spoke for 3 minutes 12 seconds. All of them are qualified for voting and are within their time limit. That's all from my timer duties. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Utkarsh. And we also have the R counter report that has been shared by Toastmaster Diana. I would not be inviting Toastmaster Diana, or actually we can spotlight Toastmaster Diana for a little while. And so what you can see in the chat, if you've not already seen, Diana has shared all of the lexical fillers that you have used during your speeches or whenever you're speaking in the chat right after you finish speaking. So that's something that Diana has shared. Thank you so much, Diana, for being diligent. You're welcome, Diana. And now we can, I'm at the end of evaluation. And now I would like to, sorry, are you saying something? Okay, so now I'm at the end of evaluation and I would like to pass the spotlight back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Utkarsh.
So Shrishti, very well done, Diana. Congratulations. You were stupendous today as a table topic speaker. Thank you so much. And thank you to our wonderful Madam General Evaluator, Toastmaster Shrishti, and all the speech evaluators for such a heartfelt and invested feedback. This will definitely help us to improve in our journey as a speaker. What can I say? I think we had a pretty imperfect meeting, to say the least, today, with all the backouts and the last moment back out of our Toastmaster of the day due to some personal reasons. And I mean, hey, these things happen all the time, and we all get challenges in life, and we were definitely challenged today. But I'm so glad of my team and the entire members of Toastmasters, of TPTM who joined today, that we traversed through all those challenges with such flying colors. Can we have a huge round of applause for everyone? And we had such a wonderful meeting. We had 4 stupendous speeches, and I'm just realizing I'm praising myself too with that. The wonderful 4 speech evaluators did a fantastic job along with Toastmaster Shrishti. So, hey, we had a wonderful meeting. And I'm sure we'll go higher from here and evolve from our learnings today. In the meantime, before I launch some polls, I would also like to take feedback from our guest today. Toastmaster Chintan, any feedback or firstly, how was your experience today?
Yeah, it was a wonderful experience delivering it for the first time and got great evaluation. Overall, loved the entire meeting structure. Only one point I would like to suggest is maybe the order is predetermined. That would help the speaker also to be acclimatized before the speech. Otherwise, a wonderfully pulled off meeting. I know some of the role players could not come on time, but you all managed and stitched the entire meeting so well. So thank you very much, Utkarsh, and over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chintan, for being so gracious and kind. And we loved you having here and gracing us with your presence. And we would like to urge you to come more often. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Chintan. Guys, there's a poll for the best speech evaluator going on. I request everyone to cast their votes. I'll keep this poll up for like 10 seconds, like 5 seconds more, because we're almost there with the number of, yeah, and we are done. We've got all the votes. Thank you so much. All right, these are all the polls that we launched today. I'll also take quick feedback from Saurabh, who's joining this meeting, I guess, for the second time, if I'm not wrong. Hi, Saurabh. How was the experience today?
Hello, yes, I am joining for second time. I was not fully in the meet as like some neighbors coming. For whatever time I was in the meet, it was a good experience. Despite the challenges, I could see somehow you all managed. Thank you.
Thank you, Saurabh. I'm glad that you enjoyed our meeting and make the most of it. And I request you to please come more often and grace us with your presence. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Saurabh. Sorry, thank you so much, guest Saurabh. Hopefully soon a Toastmaster as well. All right. I think these are all the guests that are available right now. I'll announce the results, the much awaited results for today. We have 3 polls for today. I will keep the best prepared speaker for the last. That's the big one. I'll start with the best table topic speaker. The best table topic speaker today, there's no surprise. There's no element of surprise. It is Toastmaster Srishti. Can we have a huge round of applause for her? All right. Moving on to the best speech evaluator. Best speech evaluator for today is evaluator number 2, Toastmaster Anand. Can we have a huge round of applause for him as well? It was a close fight. It was a very, very close fight, but by a whisker of margin, the winner is Toastmaster Anand. Finally, coming to the best prepared speaker. The best prepared speaker is a tie between 2 people. The best prepared speakers today are speaker number 2, Toastmaster Chintan, and our lovely debutante, Toastmaster Aprajita. Can we have a huge, huge round of applause for both of them? Very well done, and congratulations, Toastmaster Aprajita, for your maiden victory. So, so proud of you. And congratulations to you, Chintan, as well.
For the first time, speaker and evaluator both got the best speakers.
Quite a feat. Thank you so much, everyone. We had a wonderful meeting. This